Hi everybody. I've been getting some questions on how I pace AP English Language and Composition. And because I've taught the course on two different schedules, I wanted to walk you through some of the ways I think through planning. I have a pacing guide that I've used with my 180-day, 50 minutes a day students, and I have a different pacing guide that I used with my 90 minutes a day block students whom I had on A-Day, B-Day all year long. So those two pacing guides I will either include or link with this video depending on how you're seeing the video. You'll notice on the pacing guides that I have included live hyperlinks to my resources that I've published. You don't have to get those to follow the pacing guide. It just tells you what skills you want to teach in what order, or how I would do them and in what order I do them, but don't feel any pressure. It's not a sales pitch. It's just to show you how I do it. So the way I'm going to walk you through this is just to show you kind of the way I've heard other people talk about how they pace. And then the fifth option that I give you is how I do it. And so I gave you the first four to help you see how other teachers think through it. And then in the fifth one, I kind of explain to you how my brain works, that it's a little bit different from the way that some of the other teachers think through the process. So leave me any questions that you have. If you're seeing this on YouTube, leave them in the comments and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about. Thanks. There are so many ways to organize an AP English language class, and there's no one right way to go about it. The teacher's experience, the district's requirements, and even the skill levels of the students can play into the choices a teacher makes. Here are 5 options that a teacher might consider. Option 1 is to address the skills as they are laid out in the 2019 course and exam description from College Board. If you're new to AP Lang, you should know that we now have a list of skills divided into the following categories: rhetorical situation, claims and evidence, reasoning and organization, and style. College Board has created a pacing guide to show teachers one way to introduce and spiral these skills. So a teacher could teach these skills within the units and go in order through Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, etc., all the way through Unit 9. Option 2 is thematic. A teacher folds those same CED skills into thematic units, possibly but not necessarily within the CED framework. Those themes could be anything like gender, social justice, war, or marginalized voices. The themes could even be built around current events, pulling in historical documents, video clips, and visual pieces that relate. Option 3 is to go by an American literature framework. Many states in the U.S. require a survey of American Lit in the junior year, regardless of the course being taught. Instead of seeing this requirement as a burden, the teacher could just use it as the skeleton for the course, making sure to rely heavily on nonfiction pieces. A teacher might go in chronological order and begin with indigenous oral tradition and move into colonial pieces, ending the year with contemporary nonfiction. The danger there is that modern voices, particularly those of color, can get pushed aside. Another option is to go in reverse order and begin with contemporary, or weave it continually in within the chronological framework. Option 4 is to use the exam to determine the pace of the course. Students move through the free response essays with multiple choice practice woven in throughout. This allows the teacher to do a deep dive and get students to proficiency before moving to another skill set. Option 5 is the one I use. I use a combined approach of options 3 and 4. In my state, we have to teach American Lit in the junior year, and I like to get students to proficiency and then spiral back in briefly. I start with a broad introduction to rhetorical analysis, And then we do a deeper dive with 7 rhetorical modes before moving on to argumentation and persuasion. The culminating project for that large unit is a researched persuasive speech, which takes us right into the synthesis essay. I weave multiple choice practice and American Lit in the whole time and try to stay aligned with our AP US history teacher so that students get the nonfiction in context.